welcome back to another episode with me, Living Free Ashley. Today we are making the vegan version of Hamburger Helper. Now, I know some people don't like vegan versions of things being described as the meat version of it, so I was really trying to think of a name that didn't involve hamburger, but then I thought, you know what, screw it, because Hamburger Helper isn't even the correct name for it either because there's no ham in it, it's beef. So I figured I'd stick with the vegan version of the Hamburger Helper, which gets the point across and we can still make a super yummy dish with it. So the original recipe comes from sweetsimplevegan.com, and I really didn't change up the recipe all that much. I used Beyond Beef, the beef ground, and then I used a gluten-free noodle. So those are really only the changes, and I did basil instead of parsley, but again, it's all customizable and you do whatever you want to do in your dish. So let's make some vegan Hamburger Helper. So you just need one pot for this recipe. I'm using a skillet with a lid. Add half a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil or broth or water if you prefer oil-free, and half a small onion diced. And give that a stir and let it start cooking. Add in a teaspoon of granulated garlic, give it another stir and let it cook for a couple minutes until the onions start to brown. Next, add in your package of Beyond Beef. Still gives me the heebie-jeebies handling this because it seems so similar to real beef. But either way, add that in and start breaking it up into smaller pieces. And let that cook for a couple minutes. In the meantime, in a small bowl, add a tablespoon of cornstarch, a tablespoon of chili powder, teaspoon of oregano, teaspoon of paprika, and a dash of sea salt and pepper, and just stir that all together. Once your Beyond Beef is all browned, you can sprinkle that spice mixture over the beef and give it a good stir. Next, you need to add in veggie stock or no beef broth. I'm using this local plant-based stock this way, veggie broth. So add in 1.5 cups of veggie stock, 1.5 cups of plant-based milk. I used my homemade oat milk, 2 cups of gluten-free pasta, and give that a good stir and make sure all of the noodles are submerged under the liquid. You want to put the lid on your skillet and simmer on low for the noodles to cook. If your heat is too high, everything will start sticking to the skillet, so just be aware of that. The lower the heat, the better. Take the lid off and give it a stir to make sure there isn't any sticking, and also test a noodle. You want the noodles to be al dente, so just have a little tiny crunch to them and not get too soggy. My noodles weren't quite done, so I put the lid back on and let it cook for a couple more minutes. Again, I took the lid off, gave it a stir, tested the noodles, and we were good to go. So next, add a half a cup of vegan cheddar shreds. I use the Daiya shreds. I know some people love them, some people hate them. I love them. And this is optional, but you can add chopped fresh basil or parsley. And with the heat off, put the lid back on and just let the cheese melt over your Hamburger Helper. Oh, and there you have it. So yummy. And it truly looks like the non-vegan version of it, I think. So cheesy, so filling, so yummy, and it's kind of the perfect thing for fall right now, and I love that it's all done in one pot, so it's super easy to just like throw together for a big meal and then have leftovers as well. I would say serve it with a salad or with a bunch of broccoli or something like that, so you're still getting your greens in there, and you are good to go for dinner. So thank you again for watching another episode with me, Living Free Ashley. Don't forget to subscribe. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and cheers to living free.